another show of Don't Get This Twisted. I am Rob, along with my co-host, as always, Tina. How you doing, Tina?
Hanging in there, Rob. Hanging in there. Today was not a bad day.
No, not too bad, right?
Yeah, it's pretty peaceful. Easy going. I got a lot done. Good day.
You didn't do real work?
No, I did not do real work today. I actually worked quite a bit yesterday, and the salons are normally closed on Monday. So I didn't have to work today. Just switched out days.
Oh, well, that's kind of nice.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, just I'm always getting pulled different directions. My kid started his job from home.
Ah.
Yeah, so I'm going to see a lot more of him.
Does he keep the door shut and stay in his room?
Yeah.
Then you won't see a lot of him.
Yeah, only on his breaks. He gets an hour lunch right now.
Wow.
Only during his training period. And then once he starts regular work, he only gets half an hour.
Gotcha.
Yeah, which is really wild to me. But but yeah, besides that, still PT. So I will see a lot of him because I'm still off on disability. So
Yeah.
The only good part is I can like run errands and stuff. And I'm going to do my best not to, bother him, let him do his work. Cause yes, he's training.
But if he's in his room and the door's closed, it's like he's not there anyway. Do what you got to do.
Yeah. I think he will leave his door open at some point. I think just because like his room is like a furnace.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, good times. So we were going to talk about lots of stuff. And then you came up with something that I thought was kind of a thing that's been happening, I think, for a longer time than we probably think. But definitely in the modern times of cell phones and messaging.
Yeah.
You wanted to talk about people who like check in out of nowhere.
Yeah.
To kind of see how you're doing and it's generally people that were in your past trying to date you or people that you didn't know liked you. And now that they found out you're single, they check in or they just check in anyway, just to kind of see what's going on.
See if you're still single.
Yeah.
Or if they could get one over on you or something. I don't know. That happened to me twice today, which is why it was on my mind. I'm like,
okay.
What the hell? Is there like a full moon or is there something in the water or what's going on that these people would even reach out? I thought we were done. Like done.
That is quite weird when people out of nowhere show up.
Yeah.
Like
it's been nowhere. Like they shouldn't have reached out. I'm still going, what the hell is in the water? Like,
yes,
what am I doing? But I'm not doing anything. There's nothing that I'm doing to make this happen. But other than I was nice to both of them and it just didn't work out. And yeah, I guess since then they've dated other people and now they're like coming back around. But too little, too late as far as I'm concerned. Like, to me, they weren't that big of a deal to begin with. So, I don't know. It was just kind of odd today.
Right. Yeah, I think that things like that happen to people more than you think. I think people, mostly from our past, will check in for whatever reason. And look, I don't think everyone's predatory. I don't think every single person that's doing it is, checking in, seeing if they have an in with you. But I will say that I bet you it's more common that they are than they're not.
I would say these 2 are definitely checking to see where I'm at with things, or
Mhm.
I know one got with another woman after we had gone out on just a few dates, and I
Mhm.
guess she was just an asshole and got him good, and, and he's like, "So, how have you been?" I'm like, "I'm doing great." And he's like, "Are you dating anybody?" I'm like, "No." "Oh, man, I just went through this situation." I was like, "Ooh, sucks to be you." But I
Yeah.
was thinking to myself, I really don't care because it's not somebody that you know, it it wasn't gonna work out with us. It was a very short situation, but, yeah, why are you checking up on me? And I
I
think it's because I treated him good.
Probably, yeah.
I don't know. It's
I
just like, why would I I don't do that. I have friends that I have always been friends, and I'll check up out of nowhere. "Hey, I haven't heard from you. Are you good? Like, is everything okay?" But that's a different story. That's me checking up on people that I've had a friendship with for, like, the longest. Like, I just reached out to one of my friends that lives on the East Coast because I thought he was, listening to our podcast. Turns out he was not, because the area that he lives in is different than the the cities that we got, but that's not going, that's not fishing around to see what's going on in life. It's like, "Hey, I haven't talked to you. I miss you. Have you been downloading the podcast?"
Right.
Those are my peeps. I've known him since he was a little kid, so that's a totally different situation. I'm talking about people that are like, "Oh, are you dating anyone?" And, "Oh, we should go out sometimes. Yeah, we used to have a good time." I'm like, "We used to until you fucked it up. Now I don't wanna go out with you."
Right. I I just think that there's always somebody dipping their toes in the water, whether so like we did a podcast before on people that are just looking at your profile, So I think the message or the call is just, you know, one step closer. Mostly if it's somebody that you had a decent relationship with, you know
Mhm.
what I mean? Like it was good. It either didn't work out or whatever. So, but I think it's way more common in today's society because it's just easy. It's easy to throw a DM at somebody. It
Yep.
just is. You're just like, all right, well, you know, off you go. So I just think that you definitely, I think you just have to keep people at an arm's length, because you just you just never know what their intention is,
Mhm.
And look, I don't think, like I said, I don't think everyone's intention is predatorial, but it can be if you've been there for them a bunch of times, and 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 I think that some people um will take advantage of you for that.
Yeah. Yeah, these were definitely guys I went out with, and they didn't seem like they were interested and didn't put any time into the situation, so I didn't either. It was, like, really easy to just let it go, and now they're back, and I'm going, "What the hell?" It's not that I'm not surprised that they came back because, like I said, I treated them good. I would be surprised if they found somebody that treated them half as good as I did, to be honest with you, because from what I hear, women are pretty crazy these days and not wanting to, go the distance or do whatever. But um I did treat them well. I treated them the way I would want to be treated.
Hmm.
And then when they came back around, I was like, "Yeah, no. Why would you think I'd want you back when you didn't treat me right the first time? Get
Yeah,
out." Like, how
I
low do you
think
think my self-confidence is? Come on.
though that's the problem too. Is I think that's where the fishing comes in. They're fishing to see where you're at to see if they can hop in.
The funny thing is people don't for them, they should know me to some degree, but I don't let people in that have hurt me like that. I would never, like, let them know, "Oh, yeah, it's been miserable too without you. I'd love to see you." Hell no, that's not me. I'll be like,
Mhm.
"No, I'm doing great." And I don't care if I'm eating sawdust for dinner because I don't have anything. I wouldn't go and put myself out there like that for somebody to do it again.
Yeah, of course. Like, once bitten, twice shy, right?
Yep.
Like, uh,
And
I,
they weren't that great to begin with. Let's be honest. Like, come on.
yes, I like my thing is this too is eh, you just have to be careful with people coming back into your life because generally there's a motive behind it.
Mhm.
I not to and look, not everybody. Like I said, we use the bell curve here. So like I don't think it's an everyday thing where people are like you have to be worried about people, but I definitely think that if the people it ended weird or you have been hurt by them, that you should really, really kind of just step back from that
Mhm.
because it's really easy to get caught up in things that were good that went sour because now you're like we're different people and and this and that and it's easy to do that
Yeah.
because you're I think as people we all hope right that we learned the lesson and
Don't repeat it.
people and things are different
Right?
so but I would say that generally um eh, they're not they're just not it's yeah and again like and I will be fair to say that it all matters amount of time as well like if they're getting back and calling you you know 3 or 4 months after it's like okay I think there's a lot of bad going on right there because they're fishing to see if they can get back into something and and let's say it's years later then I can at least go okay I can understand it yeah people could have changed by then but not months.
Yeah, I
Like,
don't believe it. People don't normally really change that much. They could stop behaviors or patterns that they do, but ultimately they're still the same at the heart of the matter. They're still the same person. And I don't know. To me today, I just felt like keep walking. Like, what do you no. I don't want to do this with you again. I already did it and wasn't very thrilled and you could keep moving. Like, I'm sorry that I'm not sorry. But I'm sorry that I'm not sorry that the next person treated you bad. Maybe you got a little taste of what you were doing to me. I mean, that's kind of how I felt about it. So I just
yeah,
and then
uh,
but it was weird too. Two in a day? Like
that's a little odd.
what's what's this odds on that? And
Yeah,
when is the full moon? What the hell's going on here? Yeah. So
that's a
that
little
was
much. 2 in a day. I
yeah,
would I would question what's going on in life, but
yeah.
yeah, like I think, like I said, I think there's a lot to be said about how long, like if you guys dated and then 4 months after, I would kind of question it just because it's odd that they came that quickly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, they're back already. It's like, okay. The whatever happened with them and the person they got with obviously went sideways.
Yeah.
But, like I said, I mean, I've at certain points I've gone, 2 years without talking to somebody and then they came back into my life. In 2 years, I think things, you know, I hate to say that people don't change because I don't want to I hope that they grow I guess that's the better thing I would try to say. Like, I hope you grow as a person. Um, because that's kind of, because like you said, you're right. Most people don't change per se, but if you grow as a person, I think that that's great. But it is scary. I mean, people show up out of nowhere.
Yeah,
And
that's the problem for me is like, why do you think you could come back around?
mhm,
You're like, no, no, I don't want didn't want you the first time, not gonna be wanting you the second. Keep it moving.
right.
Yeah.
And again, I just think, like I understand the we're gonna try thing. Get and I think, and again, I'm gonna play devil's advocate, but I think it's dudes that do it more than women. I don't think women do it that often. At least not in my case. Have I had it happen? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I
You know
just
what's funny? I'm sorry, go ahead.
no,
Finish
keep
what
going.
You know what I think is funny is I don't I don't call people. I don't text first. I don't do that shit. Like I've learned a long time ago that if somebody wants to be with you, let them do the work. It's necessary. And so even like with my friends and stuff, I don't text first. I don't do those things because uh, I don't think guys appreciate it, to be honest. Like, even if you're friends, you should still let them come to you. There's still that chase thing that needs to happen. And so it's very rare with people that I will call and do that with. Like, I've never dated him, but like one of my really good friends in El Paso, I will call him out of nowhere. I'll call you out of nowhere, but
Mhm.
it's like these are people that have been in my life for 100 years. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's and normally it's are you okay? Or we have plans of what's going to happen. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right,
So
right.
I rarely just, pop out of nowhere. And so in dating, I've noticed that it seems like this happens a lot, but it's like, you didn't want me when you had the opportunity. Why are you coming back around?
Right.
And that's what I keep noticing is like, don't come back around. Like I don't, once was enough. I got a good taste of who you are. Keep it going.
Right, right. I think it's wild that uh, when it's people that you had a decent relationship with and it didn't work for whatever reason. And you still have a good relationship with them. And it's
Mhm.
still kind of like, oh, they're checking in. Like to me, it's I think it's just it's a dangerous game um with people. You just have to be careful. Like I think with like my emotions now or just the way I try to do things is like, look, I don't want to put myself out there over and over and over again. Just with this and you need to learn. I guess that's my bigger thing. Learn a lesson, whatever that
Yeah.
lesson is. Um, and just do your best not to repeat it over and over and over again because people
Mhm.
will take advantage of you in a second. Whether they're doing it purposely or not. You know what I mean? Because some people, just are good people and they'll try to get a hold of you and then you get caught up in something that you just wish you didn't.
Right.
So look, there's a lot. I mean, my thing now is if you if you're the person who is a people pleaser, like you have to be very careful with that because it's just easy because you're good, you're just like, oh, it's not a big deal. Oh, it's not a big deal. Oh, it's not a big deal. And then the next thing you know, like you're knee deep in something that you probably don't want to be in.
Mhm.
So I just think you got to be like really careful.
I I think I've always kind of been a people pleaser. Try to be the buffer, get everybody together. I've always been that person.
Hmm.
But I'm like, I'm at a point in my life where when people weren't great with me or when I thought things were going good and then they're like all of a sudden, "Oh, well, my ex came back into town, so we're not going to date anymore." I'm the first one to say, "Cool, good luck, and I'll see you later," because I'm not doing that shit.
Right.
But I'm like, why would you come back? Like even like when you've really messed up, why would you reach out to me again? Do you think I'm gonna forget? I don't think any woman forgets, and I know I don't. I sure as hell don't. Whether it be friends, family, whatever. Like I'm not gonna forget. I'll forgive to a certain degree, but don't think I'm walking backwards into a wall when I just hit one going forwards. Like get out.
Right. Yeah. Look, you have to know your own heart. And if these people are fishing, they're like, it's wild when people come into your life after a long period of time
Yeah.
and that you dated, and the next thing you know, you're like, why? Like, why are you calling me again?
Yeah.
And I kind of agree with you where you kind of have to put yourself into the position of, it didn't work. It ended bad, but you're here again. And I've only had that happen to me like once or twice and it was like a year or two later
Hmm.
where you're just like, "Mm, okay." Like, see, I question that shit. I would be the first person to go, I don't understand. Like, why? Like, what's your deal? What's the angle? And I hate that I'm like that because I want to try to believe people are decent human beings,
But
but
they're
I
not.
it's just yeah, it's
They're
just difficult,
not.
and I'm just to the point now where like I don't want to be hurt anymore. I'm just like I'm over that shit. I
Yeah, but
I
do you let somebody like that hurt you? I mean, I don't know. When I don't I already don't trust the two people just because of what they did to me. So for me, it's like you're never going to get in a place to hurt me. That's
right,
the last thing you're going to do because I'm on to you. Like I'm on to the whole situation.
right. See, I
So
would say that I'm a people pleaser. Like, so I would probably give people the benefit of the doubt, even though I shouldn't.
I'll talk to him for a couple days if I'm interested. I was not interested today though. I was not in a mood. Um but if I was interested, I'd talk to them for a little bit, but I wouldn't. It's like putting your hand on the fire. I'm not doing that again.
Right.
So
Exactly.
what do you want to say to me?
I, I think now I would where things have happened to me, I would probably really be gun shy
Oh
to
yeah.
trust people again. I just think I would be like, nah, I'm good.
Right?
Yeah. Just I just don't want to go down a road again um and beat myself up over it. Like, it's not it to me it's definitely not worth the craziness and the headache, you
Yeah.
know. And like you kind of said, if it didn't work the first time, it's probably not going to work again
Yeah.
because it takes a lot to I, I want to say change, grow, whatever the whatever
Term
the
is.
word you want to use.
Yeah.
It's just it takes a lot. I mean, like I said, I don't want to say that I don't think it could happen because I think people can change and grow, but I think if you're going to let those kind of people in, you have to do it with a lot of armor on. Like you have to be able to my biggest thing these days is like, look, you can't be afraid to hurt people's feelings anymore because they may just hurt yours.
Right.
So you have to be able to go, nah, whatever, and and keep moving. Because if you don't, you're really just beating yourself up for no reason. And I don't want to do that shit no more. Too old for that. You know, I want things to be the easiest they can be. And I know that that's kind of a like cheapy way of looking at it, but man, it's life's hard enough. I'm doing my best to keep going and making it not hard.
Right.
I just don't want to do that anymore. It seems like a lot of people's lives um are they're almost making their own shit difficult. You know what I mean? Like you're just like you're making your own life hard. Do you want to continue to do that? Because I don't. I'm kind of over
No.
that shit. I'm kind of at a place where I want to go, nah, we're good. And here's the flip side. I also I also don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. You know, they come back into your life and if you're a people pleaser, like I said, I can be like, I hate breaking people's hearts. So I would not do that purposely. And at the end, it's like you end up being miserable anyway. Like, I don't want to be miserable. It's like, so you have to get to a point, I think, now where you're willing to jump out of the airplane much sooner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because like we were in marriages that, I mean, I don't know when yours was over, you know, but I'll tell you that I should have got out of mine way sooner.
Yeah. I think I believe the same. There was a point in time where we just didn't seem like we were connecting, and it kind of hurt for a while. And maybe that's when we should have stopped, the insanity. But I think when you're married, you go the distance for as long as you can until you can't anymore. And so what's the right answer? What's the wrong answer? I just don't know.
Well, look, I totally agree. I think marriage and people coming into your life are two totally different things.
Yeah.
But I think that what you learn from that divorce is that you aren't going to let that happen again.
No,
So
definitely
these
not.
people that pop in and out of your life for whatever reason, and again, I don't want to poop on anybody and say like everyone has it out for you because I think that there are people that are literally just checking up on you.
Yeah.
That there
No,
really
and
are.
those people, like, there's certain people when they check up on me, I am you could feel the difference. You know that they have good intentions. You know that they're your people. And
Mhm.
and that's a completely different situation. But this was like went on a few dates, kind of didn't get treated well, was able to just like squeak away, like very like just got away with there doesn't even need to be any talk about it when people don't even check on you when you're sneaking away or kind of getting out of there, you didn't mean anything to them in the for the you know from the get-go. So why would you call now? Or you just noticed I'm missing, or like what the hell happened?
I think, look, we live, if you have a profile on whatever it is that you, social media, I think if it's a public one, people are already looking to see what you're doing.
Yeah, mine are private. Mine are completely private, and if I don't know a person, I don't let them follow me.
Okay. So in your case, that's a whole other monster that that's a whole other thing. So that's different. Um, but I think people who have public profiles, they already know. They know what's going on in your life. You know what I mean? Like, and that's probably why they're hitting you up because they already know because they fished your profile. And now they're just going to fish you.
I don't know, because I'm not even putting. That's another thing is social media got a little crazy. It got a couple people that I noticed were stalking me, and it made me think, I don't need anybody to know what I'm doing anyway. So I don't
Mhm.
know if you've noticed, I rarely put up anything. I don't even know how to work Instagram, to be honest with you. I'm having the hardest time with that. I let somebody else put, like when we did the baskets,
Mhm.
I let somebody else get my phone, do what they got to do. I did the video, like I could record, I know how to take a picture,
Right.
but after that, they hooked everything up for me because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. That's how little I deal with this stuff. So, yeah, if you're trying to fish me by looking at my stuff on social media, you're going to be deeply disappointed. But
Right.
but I just if you didn't want me then, don't want me now. Keep it moving. Like
Right.
my friend told me this stupid saying the other day because we were on the bike and I wanted to go back because I didn't know where we were. So we were going to go back a little bit and then get on the right road and then be on our way, right? And he said to me, "You don't go backwards to go forwards, Garcia." And ever since he said that, right? I'm hearing this saying come up in so many different avenues of my life, and it's hilarious because I even said it to my cousin the other day. I'm like, "Hey, Martinez, we don't go backwards to go forwards," and she laughed, but she also said that's a good saying. Like
It, it is.
it worked.
Yeah.
So when these guys were calling me today, I was like, "Don't go backwards. You don't go backwards to go forwards."
It's a
And
true statement. I think that in most cases, and again, I will play the bell curve because you kind of have to. But in most cases, the people who are out of our lives are out of our lives for a reason,
yeah,
regardless, whether it's a friend, a boyfriend, shit, parents. I know people who don't want to talk to their parents.
yeah,
So it's, so I think you just have to, um, you have to be able to make a decision and stick to it. Um, the people who are fishing you, look, they're looking for a second chance probably because you know they screwed up the first time, and and they know that, or they either know you're not with somebody or that's the first question they ask, right? you know
yeah. Well, they both were like, "So, how's dating going?" And I'm like, "I got too much shit going on for that. And I don't want to."
right.
I'm kind of I'm kind of digging having friends, kind of digging doing what I want to do. I got these different situations coming up with our business doing the baskets. So I'm fulfilled right now. I put some I filled up my own cup. I did what I needed to do for me and I'm kind of cool right now.
That's
So,
perfect.
and that's what I told him. I'm like, I'm good. I'm not I'm not in a place where I need that, is what I told them.
Right. Look, dating's
So,
difficult.
it is.
It's not easy. I mean, people who, if you think that shit's easy, you're a better person than me.
Right?
It's not. Um, and if it's somebody that, you know, was in your life, or again, even a couple of dates. I mean, these days, people get hooked quick. So even a couple of dates, you can get in trouble. Um, I just think that there is something to e- cut them off quickly. you know,
Right?
um, I think you probably just did the best thing, with those, the ones that got you is a, like, if you, I think it, and I think most guys, um, would rather hear it quickly than have someone like talk to them for weeks and weeks and weeks and then just disappear again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just tell me. I'm all right with it. Like, tell me you're not interested. We're good. And then everyone can move on can move on.
Yeah.
Because it it's too easy for, mostly these days to get people get hooked quick. And then the
Think
next thing
so?
you know, you're like, oh, wait a second. You know, you know, years ago, I was I was seeing somebody, um, and I told them right to their face, like, I was like, don't fall in love with me because I don't know where I'm at, and it didn't work out well because next thing you know, they're like, lots of feelings got hooked. And you're like, oh shit, well, and you can't go back and say it, right? You can't go back and go, I told you,
Yeah.
because and you can't help your feelings. That's the other thing. So I think that if you can tell somebody nicely and quickly, like you did, like, I'm good, I'm not dating, everyone's happy. It's like, because then you can get away from it pretty quickly, and everyone can move on because they're fishing and they're trying to see if they can get their foot in the door with you. That's the intention of most dudes, is just getting their foot in the door.
I think it's getting their weenie in something, not their
Well,
foot.
but you got to get your foot in the door first. You can't get in the bedroom unless you put your leg through the door. But I do agree. I mean, like, I think a lot of dudes are just trying to get laid, and that's it.
Yeah. They didn't
And
get
I
it the
think,
first time, they're not gonna get it the second.
yeah. Well, and here's the other thing. I think that if that's your play, I think, and again, modern women, I think most modern women would rather just hear that first. You know what I mean? Like, just say it.
Yeah.
Because I think at the end of the day, they would respect that more.
Yeah.
They'd be like, oh, okay, well, no, I'm not interested, but at least thanks. And again, that only works on people that I think that you have a a decent kind of relationship with. You can't just be telling people you went on 2 dates with that you just want to have sex, because I don't think that that's going to work out well either. You know, like,
Yeah.
I'm just going out on a limb. Probably not your best sell job to get with somebody.
You know, yeah, that wouldn't work for me.
Yeah, I don't think it works with many, but there are. I mean, I've been around people. I know people. I've been with people that were pretty straight up and was like, I got a call during COVID. And I know I talked about it years ago on this pod. I got a call from someone during COVID that literally was like, hey, do you want to have pandemic sex? That was it. It wasn't like very straight to the point. Like, there was nothing.
Why didn't I get asked that? I may have been okay with that because I knew from the get what was going on. There's no don't bullshit me, don't lie to me. Like
Yeah.
I didn't get asked that. I'm sad.
Yeah. Now, again, I had been with this person before. So
Yeah.
it wasn't like,
You weren't making your numbers go up?
no. So yeah, yeah, we have talked about that too. Um, you don't get a new number because
You don't get a new number.
you don't get a new number. But like for me, it was like she was very straight up about it. Like, hey, like, the world's sucky right now. Do you want to come over and hang out? I was like, oh, okay. So, and look, I think she had already known the answer, I'm assuming, because I don't think she thought she was going to get turned down or she wouldn't have called.
Good
You
for
know what I
you.
mean? Yeah, so,
Don't
um,
don't let her down.
right. I mean, and this was like middle of COVID.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like, it was a shitty time.
Mhm.
So it made it much easier to be like, all right,
Yep,
like,
let's do it.
let's do it. So I guess, I mean, all in all, she was fishing, but she had good bait. You know
She
what I
was
mean?
fishing
Like,
with purpose.
yeah, she was fishing with a stake. You know what I mean? Like, she wouldn't put in the little red fish on the end. She was like, it was definitely had the right bait. So in that case, those type of people, I think, come back into your life during the right time, right? Because it was just fuck, that was a horrible time in life.
Yeah.
It was nice literally to just get out of the house, not, you know what I mean? Not just go somewhere because knowing that you're going to get laid. It was just nice to be like, oh, wow, another human being.
Right?
Like, that's neat.
Yeah. I know,
So
that was that kind of time too.
it sucked. It was horrible. That was such a horrible time. I thank goodness. I hope we never have to go back to something so crazy.
Yeah, let's hope not.
Yeah. But look, this isn't ever going to end. We're always going to have people that in this day and age that will see where you're at in life. And I guarantee you, 9.5 times out of 10, if they are getting a hold of you, they they are uh single. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
I just look at it from, you know, if they're getting a hold of you, they generally have some kind of agenda. And I
Yeah,
guess
they got
then it's
nothing
just
going
up to
on.
you, right? It's up to you to see where that goes.
Yep.
Because sometimes again, like that one, sometimes the fishing is great because
Yeah.
you're looking for it. But
Or the right people were fishing you.
right. But I think that generally, if there are people that didn't work out for whatever reason, it's probably in the best interest for most people to stay out of that because people they have their agendas or they have their they're trying to get something out of you.
Yeah.
But who knows? I think that you have to be careful with, for one, letting people in, right? Because then it's on you. I think what you did is probably the smart thing, right? You cut them off quick.
Yep. I
You
really wasn't in the mood today. They picked the wrong day and I was just like, yeah, no. No.
right. You're like, boy, did you pick the wrong day?
Yeah.
Uh,
Not
but I
even
mean, look,
there.
yeah, I think there's something to it. I think you just have to you have to be very careful with what's out there and
Yeah.
why most people are getting in touch with you. It's it's very easy for people to pop back into your life these days, unfortunately, because we are just in that time of social medias and cell phones. Shit, they don't even have to DM you. If they have your number, they'll just text message you out of nowhere. And
Yeah.
that's even worse because then you have to like look at it and try to wonder how to answer it. You're like, oh fuck. All right, what do I do on this one? Or how am I going to do this one?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that can be kind of sucky ducky.
Yeah.
You
Do
know?
you
Mhm.
did I ever talk about my 30-second date with Pepe Le Pew on the podcast?
What? No. The
So
fuck?
one of the guys that called me today to see like how things were, I refer to him as Pepe Le Pew because um I went to meet him and we had to meet in a Lowe's parking lot because he was walking his dog, which I was like, you forced me to hurry up to go with you to a comic show and now you're walking your dog and you want to talk to me before you take your dog back to the house. So
What?
I was like, "Just go put your dog away and let's go. Let's go to the thing." And he's like, "No, I want to say hi to you first cuz it was the first time that we were meeting also." So, I was like, "Okay." So I drove over to where he was and he's like, "Oh, get out of the car. I want to see you. I want to give you a hug." And I'm like, "Can't you just take your dog back to your house so we can leave?" Like that's where I was at. But no, I got out of the car and I go to give him a hug. And you know how Pepe Le Pew, the skunk at Warner Brothers,
Mhm.
he's like and
Right.
he's trying to hug on the cat that was
Yeah, look
painted to
like a
look
skunk.
like another skunk. Yeah. So that's what the guy was doing. He was making noises like that while he was like touching me and he was just rubbing his hands all over me, like all over my back and it was very uncomfortable and he smelled kind of like bourbon and a lot of
Oh,
cologne, right? So he was dressed perfectly and everything and he was a barber, so I thought it would be fun because we have a lot in common, right? So when he did that to me, I'm like and he was trying to kiss me and I'm moving away because I wasn't gonna kiss him. I'm like, I don't do that when I'm just meeting somebody. Cut that off. And then I said, well, go take your dog back and let's get going. So he's like, yeah, okay, follow me. And he's walking his dog, and I'm supposed to be driving behind him, which pissed me off too. And so when he got to the end of the parking lot and he was gonna go across the street, he went straight and I turned right and I came home and I was like, oh no. Like, I am not going on this date with Pepe Le Pew. I just can't.
right.
And so he was one of the guys that called me today. Thought I had
Oh,
blocked him. I don't know how he got through. Like, because I was like, I can't with you. I just can't. Like rubbing on me and shit. I can't. I just can't. So yeah, so that was my 30-second date with Pepe Le Pew. So anyway, he was one of the ones that had called, and I was just like, yeah, no.
you're
I
like,
was like, I know we were off to a weren't off to a good start, but I'm not drinking as much. And I'm like, as much means
ah,
you're still drinking.
ah,
I can't. But
right.
yeah, that so it that yeah, that was my I got called by Pepe Le Pew today.
Yikes. Yeah, that's pretty gnarly.
It was literally like a 30-second to a minute date. Like I just couldn't. And I'm again being a people pleaser, I'll stay in an uncomfortable situation for a while just to like hope things get better. But
Right.
no, no, I was like, you're drunk, you're weird, you're too handsy. That's the trifecta. I gotta go.
Right, right. Yeah, I mean, I get it. It's again, I think you have to you just have to keep people at a very, very, very long arm's length. And if you're uncomfortable, even via the first message, you just have to really, really cut them off
Yeah.
and just be done and be like, okay, gotta go. Like, I can't do this. Wasn't good the first time. I'm not trying to be mean, but or you just have to go with the old I'm with somebody.
Yep.
I think that will definitely get people moving generally.
That doesn't work for women though. Because okay, so there was this guy that I had met, really liked him. We had really good conversations and everything. And then he's like, "Oh, before we go out, I got to tell you I'm married." And I was like, "Got to go. Not going to do this with you." I blocked him. I did everything. Well, he found my social media and found a way to get into where he could try to talk to me again. And I was like, "Look, are you still married?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Then I'm still not interested." Like, quit calling. But it seemed like that fueled his fire and he just kept trying till finally I figured out how to get rid of him completely. And I haven't heard from him since, but I'm almost afraid to not say his name 3 times because it could happen like Beetlejuice. Like, we could be like, where are these guys coming from? Because I don't know.
Right. Yeah, yes. I think you again, some people it doesn't matter. They will they just won't give up no matter
Yeah.
what you do. And look, I at some point they will, but I I I just think that it's in the best interest of everyone involved that if it goes down that road, you just really, really have to cut people off and do it in the best way possible, you know. And that's on both sides. That's, if that's a guy to a girl or a girl to a guy, like, because again, nobody, I would never want to hurt anyone's feelings, purposely, mostly if I know them well. You know what I mean? 2 dates in, I might be a little more mean
Yeah.
just because like I don't know you.
Well, I think it was pretty mean how I did what I did, but I was like, yeah, no, not doing it at all. Like, I
Mhm.
should, when you show up drunk and you're handsy, and
Right.
I
That's a
couldn't.
whole other thing, I think. That's like, okay, come on. Yeah. And I mean, thankfully I've never had to deal with showing up to a date and they were drunk. I think that would just be that's a whole other type of person.
Well, and then I said that to him, and he said, "Well, I was nervous." And I'm like, "Then say you're nervous, but don't show up all
Bombed.
like a totally different person."
Yeah, I couldn't.
No.
It's a bit much. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like that's pretty wild.
It was pretty funny though.
Yeah.
'Cause I didn't go into the story, but, like, when I'm telling my friends, they are dying at what I said and how I handled myself. Because yeah, it's all in the details, but he just was weird. I'll just put it
Yeah. I mean, that's a little psycho.
like that.
Yeah. And look, I've been on some like interesting dates with people, like, but never drunk. Not from the beginning. Fuck that. I think that one would get me a little like, whoa.
Well, like, if we had gone out and we were getting along well and we both got shit faced, that's totally acceptable. But you don't show up to a date already messed up and
Well, yeah,
kind
that's
of
what I mean. Like
slurring your words.
that's a wild one. That's just too much for me.
I
I
could
would
tell you
have to
more.
bail, you
I
know?
could tell you more. Yeah, you have to bail. You
You
sure
have to bail.
do.
You just gotta go, gotta go.
Yep.
Like,
So I
it's
call my cousin right
odd.
before I get on the date, right? And then I called her like not even 2 minutes later, and she's like, "Are you okay? What happened?" Like, she was all scared because I never would call her back like that. And then I told her the story. We laughed. It was a 45-minute drive because of traffic and everything. And we laughed the whole way home about that. Like, I told the story though. Gave her like all the details. It was crazy.
Yeah, it's a bit much. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know. I mean, without again, just I would say be careful with what you say to people because people are crazy, unfortunately. Um, and secondly, like I would say at whatever time in your life, mostly right now, you just kind of have to you just kind of have to be like, look, I'm I can't do this.
Right.
Like,
I won't do this.
yeah. I mean, because like, no, no. it's just too much, I think, mostly these days. Last thing I want to do is get caught up in anything psychotic and people that'll just suck the life out of you
Yeah. No, there's
because they will.
I I'm telling myself it's not like I've never gone back and dated somebody that I once dated, but
Uh-huh.
I find I find that that's just a dumb way to be. Best to make new mistakes than the same mistake.
I generally believe that. Yeah. I mean, it's again, and like I said, I think it, time changes things. Like I would say if it's under 10 years, I would say, yeah, because most people don't, but you know, who I'm not
But
one
do
to
they
say don't.
really, like, you've gone back, does anything really change? Not too
Um,
much.
Not much. I mean, I will tell you that like I've seen somebody after a lot of years, and I'm talking a lot, like almost 30, and definitely different. But they were also very, very, very young when I dated them. So of course they're going to be different. They were like 18 years old. So, that they they obviously grew up because they were a teenager. So I think that's a little different. But like I said, I think that if it's if it's 5 years, 4 years later, they probably haven't changed.
Yeah.
It's just it's not very likely because, well, you know, you just don't change after that amount of time. You just don't.
Nope. You just don't.
What's your last word on this one for you?
Don't go back, make different mistakes.
Uh, I would say that's pretty keen advice. I would also say use your best judgment when it comes to things like this. Um, we live in a very bizarre world, and I think a lot of people have agendas, and I think there's people who don't. If you think that they do, get out quick.
Yep.
That would be all.
Save yourself.
Totally agree. Hey, last month we had the best month we've ever had ever.
That's awesome.
Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. Lots and lots of people. So thank you to everyone who listened last month, and keep sharing because I'm assuming that's also what's happening because lots of different places have been listening. Like
Nice.
we had some odd countries.
Really?
Yeah, like pretty wild things. Here, I'll tell you some of the ones real quick. Let's see. Yeah, it was like we had some in like I think Dominican Republic.
Say what?
Yeah. We had see Brazil. We had some in Brazil, India, uh, what was the one? Oh, Bangladesh, Chile, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, Trinidad. So
That's insane.
yeah, yeah, pretty wild. Pretty wild. So thanks a lot for everybody who's listened. Keep sharing, please. That's super awesome for us.
Yes.
And it's an opinion show. Don't get it twisted. Keep coming back every Wednesday. I'm Rob. That's Tina. And we'll see you later. Bye.
See ya.